Hey everybody, welcome to the update of the weekend vid. And turn around Tuesdays tomorrow. So let's get started. First, what was on the list for the stat trading guys as far as focus list goes? Well, LEU, which did go 322, but gaps up and goes red on the day and does not change that. You can see towards the end of the day, they go 60s up, which slight hammer on the day, but we'll see if they come back tomorrow or not. To get that moving in the coal sector, which we might take a look at here today. If we go to XEL, you will see the 312 with full time frame continuity is already traded 2% to start the week. You'll notice it breaks on the gap down by 60 and goes instantly. That's what we look for. If we go to Carvana, it did gap up and trigger the week, so it's a very slight gap up, but starts in force, so we'll see tomorrow. You'll notice the inside 4 hour to confirm or negate, and there's also maybe a 2260 in there tomorrow morning. We'll see. If we go to Snapchat, did not do anything today, so it goes inside day on a Monday. It still could go inside up or down, we'll see. But we would prefer to see that go on a Monday, right? It just did not. If we go to Roku, closes out at the highs. There's your 3-2 expando day, and that means your broadening formation you can see is getting bigger. So in the morning, they break it up, and then here's your 2260, boom, reconfirm it to the highs, confirming your inside week and up, which sets you up to go and test the other side of that range, as we know. Right? On the monthly, it's still bright green, full time frame continuity, so we have no reason to believe it's not trying to go back up to 81. Go to PayPal. PayPal is a pretty nice gainer this morning. You'll see 312 up with full time frame continuity at the open. And then how do you get in on that? You have to let it go red first. So it goes red to green. Boom, right there. You hit it above the open, 8409. You also get the momentum 5-minute hammer. Up they go. You get the inside 5er / inside 15er in here. And then a boom, measured move. And some slight more triangle they out. And then high a day. And you can see they triangle they out again. So for the 30-60 guys who are holding off, there was the hammer counter shooter for 30 minutes, which you can see pays pretty nice, right? 8% move, then 2-2 against, right? Stop some guys out, so be it. And then you get this inside 30 at the end of the day, and then boom, off to the races again. Let's get set up the inside 4 hour momentum to confirm the weekly momentum, so we'll see. And you'll see at the end of the day the 60 as well. So we'll see if that comes or follows through tomorrow. We're still looking for, if we go actually to Thinkorswim in here, we're still looking for 88.63, 95.57, 103.03 if they can follow through with that. And you'll see the daily try in here is getting bigger, right? Expanding above that stuff. So that's a good thing. Outside of that stuff, there's not too much to talk about in the weekend vid. We can talk about things reconfirming that are still good. So coin, remember 2-2 on a Tuesday down in here for the strat attack, of which I'm going to have a part 2 of the strat attack coming out very soon. But the 1-2-2 on a Tuesday still good. 2-2-2-2 bang bang, right? And then it just keeps going. So you get the 3-3-2 on the week to the upside, causing 3-2 reversal quarter Coinbase, giving you inside year and up back through previous range, still going where 430, right? We got about $110 to go, and that's gonna be your Mara. Just still doji on the year, but you can see Mara 3-2-2 and they're off to the races. So we're looking for 27-3 still. If we go to Riot, this is our favorite in here, and for the people follow me on Twitter, you saw me post this way down at the bottom of this stuff, down in here. So you can see the slight lower lows, and we can clear drawing set here. So you can see slight lower lows, boom, hammer month. So you draw the broadening information right to left, right? Like this. Gauge your magnitude. 2-2, still good. 2 up again, bang, right? And now you have the sub-tri expando in here. So as long as this is above what, around 14, right? It's trying to go up there, 20. So we still got $5 to go minimum on Riot. And it's a used to be somebody, which means it could go, a lot higher if things, get better. We'll have to see. And then we got MicroStrategy. So this one actually has cleared out now. The all-time highs, 333, which was the ideal targets in here. But you see the momentum hammer still good. 2, 1, 2, bang. Bitcoiner still good from the strat attack last week, so that's all good. Outside of that, it's really like your tech stocks and everything, which we saw some stopping them out today, so we'll get to the indexes now. If you've been waiting, I need to clear this indicator. It's been frustrating. Hopefully it didn't delete my settings. It did not. So you can see what will happen when you expand the try, as we had seen last week, you can see they poke down and then back through the range. So you can see, oops, we go into triangle expansion, right? So poke up, poke down, poke up, and still poking up. 2, 2, 2, now 3, right? So this is now a new triangle. So you'll have this try, and then once it expands, it'll keep expanding until they triangle out, and then you get new try here. So we got to get out of that. And when we go in there on the 15, you're going to see this pretty obviously, right? What's going on? Well, here it is. Poke up, gap up, sell 3, 3, right? And there's the slight lower highs. And then puke takes out all these guys, lower lows. And then their hammer 15er times the bottom of the range, which we did know about. So I'll show you this here, just to show you kind of what we're talking about in the stat trading room more often than not. So you can see Q's going into conflict at the bottom of the try, right? So poke down, there's your hammer 15. And you can see that 15, boom, causes the reclaim of these lows in here. And then it reconfirms to give you a nice little trade off the lows for about $1 something intraday. And then you can take that winning position, do what you want with it, right? You can partial it when that 225er occurs against here, which is what we mentioned, to reduce, and then you can get completely out, you can let it run, you can do whatever you want, just create the winning position and get in there. And you can see this morning, even the 2-2 back down on the 5ers gap selling, they really creamed them. So you still got volatility on the indexes, with the VIX down at 15 again, you know, gappers and stuff are still going to be more interesting. But there's still a lot of buying going on, a lot of 2s this week to the upside. That being said, though, we get back to the Qs. How are we getting out of this try? That's our question, right? These highs, these lows, we closed in the middle. If we go to Dow Jones, the Dow, it's about as close to an inside day as you can get without being a 1 on the day. You see mother bar all day. So you can treat this kind of like an inside day. Is that going to be inside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 hours and down, or inside 5.5 hours and up, would be our question. And they're still good, right? 2-2 on a Tuesday, 2 momentum, slightly doji, 2, maybe a shooter 2-2, we'll have to see. But at this point, you're not changing any of that monthly continuity around. IDBM with the inside day and up, they did go up there, but similar to Dow Jones, you can see kind of just a chop fest, right? They went momentum, which they tried, right? Just didn't hold the highs up in there. And they went back down, and then here's your compound 3 of that, and then chop, 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 killed into the end of the day. So if we drop it down, you'll see the same type of stuff we see on the Qs, just smaller on the IDBM in here. So you see the triangle, right? The poke down, the poke up, poke down, and then tries to poke back up, but stuck. Just gets killed in here. So how are we getting out of that? We'll see. If we go to SPY, along with the Qs today, you'll see they had the same 60 at break and down this morning. So we didn't go outside day SPY. They were nowhere near doing that, but you finish out, you're gonna see the sub try, right? So these 2 bars outside of that, poke up in red, where's it going? All these 4 bars outside of these 2 bars, as you can see, right? So we draw right to left. Once low day is made down in here, and you get the same thing as Qs for the most part. So how are we getting out of this stuff, right? We're stuck. You can see chop, chop all the rest of the day, just getting killed in there. That is our question, right? And this one's more of a momentum hammer, so closer to 2 up. We're nowhere near really reversing any of this stuff back down, so we're not gonna be too worried about that unless we start seeing Tuesday, hit them and rock them. But that being said, let's go and take a look at the inside days. All right, so on the mover side of things, we're gonna see APP. You'll see app, it's got momentum, so we'll be aware of that. It is momentum, but long green bars of the month, and we've got a lot of month left, right? So it could get a lot better. As you can see, if we go to CNC, this is a little bit more bearish side of things to the downside, which would cause 3-2 week with a 3-2 reversal quarter. So they've got some stuff going for it in here. Apologies if you can hear my dog running around. Never traded it in my life, though. If we go to CORT, you'll see the long green bars quarter, long green bars month, momentum hammer. Also inside day with APP. And we'll be careful of those because they could just go inside week, right? We're playing, that's more of a continuity play in there. In SMR, you're going to see a 3-1 on the day. And you'll notice long red and green bars. We go to the month. Pretty green to the year, still a 2-2 back to the upside. And I believe this is moving with OKLO. same sector, so potentially a 2-2 on a Tuesday in OKLO, which would cause a 2-2 week back to the upside. So we could have those together. Whoa. Sympathy with Oklo, which is really, it's all that nuclear stuff going on, right? Outside of that, I want to take a look at our hammers and shooters, see what we got. So it looks like more momentum hammers. You can see AAOI really gunning, right? So boom, 20 to 27, then momentum hammer. So above that, if they're really going to keep gunning, they just break it and keep going. So we can have that in there. And anything with a star, it's simply just coming from my movers list, which means it's got higher volatility. You can see American Semiconductors as well. And then RMBS, which is still reclaiming that monthly 3. You'll see a potential 2-2 on a Tuesday hammer candidate in there. All right. The downside of things, there's not too much I'm seeing here. Let's see. CRISPR, closer to a 2-2 on a Tuesday. Would reclaim a lot of these previous highs if that worked out. Only thing is you got a lot of monthly stuff you're going to have to change in there, right? And just for my own curiosity, CAR. Yeah, so it looks like CAR did go today. That was from the weekend vid. But then OPCH, which is shooter, never heard of her. EWTX, so it's a lot about biotech stuff in here. That's going to be weaker since a lot of the market went outside. But you'll see the 122 rev strap below 3521 pivot machine gun. So if any of these guys are going to have an issue, it might be this one in here. And this is where those weekly options come into play if we've got them here, which I imagine we do. It looks like the spreads here are just abysmal, which is going to kind of put a damper on things. But is it worth it, right? It'd go to like $3 in the money. They're asking for like 2. So yeah, the spreads are terrible, but you got a pretty nice setup there. If we go to IonQ, you can see triangle out and then hammer in here. We really missed this momentum hammer on the day that we put out Shopify and Cost last week, which you're seeing Shopify still good. If you go to Costco, inside day to confirm and negate after that nice outside bar momentum hammer, right? IonQ had the same thing setting up into the same day, and we missed that one, but it really got going during the day. Now we got another hammer in here. If we go to like the quarter, you know, still's been higher, right? You can still come back through 35.9. We just got a lot of distance to cover in there. On the week, it's 3-1 to start, but it could go 3-2, so I'm not against throwing that on the list. Let's see. What do we got for the 3-2-2s? Pen, 3-2 up in red. That's really it. Let me fix something real quick. Alrighty, we're back. All right, so inside days, we're gonna have app. I believe we already talked about that. SMR 3-1 full time from continuity. Sympathy with OKLO, which could be the 2-2. TOST inside day with high volatility. We'll see what comes of that. AAOI momentum hammer with AMSC momentum hammer, expanding a 3. And this is American superconductor, and this has been a lot higher. So we call this a used to be somebody because, you know, it used to trade at 500. It used to trade at 750. Maybe they got their act together. We'll have to see. As far as I heard from some people, their numbers are looking more promising than before. Not that that really matters to us. That being said, we'll have Shark Ninja, which is momentum hammer to confirm a 3-2-2 on the weekly there. And the options, you'd use the at the money weeklies. There's some volume on them today. So someone bought some weeklies today. I'm not sure if that's going to play out, but we'll see. RMBS. You'll see the 2-2 on a Tuesday. Potentially, we don't get many other signals in force here. What we do have is continuity and reclaiming a 3 on the monthly, so maybe, right? If we go to IonQ, this one's been a crazy one this month so far. You got the 2-2 day, I believe we already mentioned, and YPF, which I did not look at the options there, so don't. Yeah, so they got like 22% on the weeklies here. The monthlies are a little bit better with about 13% spreads, but hammer counter, slight shooter going into turnaround Tuesday. So we'll see. And you've got, if we go to the quarter, look at this baby. Actually, we're going to go to the year. Look at this. So the poke up, the poke down. Look at all the reclaims back in here, right? We didn't catch the perfect low. That's fine. But if they're racing all the way up into 70, right, we know about it here at 30. So that's something we want to know. On the downside of things, in the Dow Jones specifically, we have some natural selling. J&J, outside bar shooter. If we're going to get momentum, it'd look like that. And then Verizon, which was on the weekly or the new monthly vid and the weekend vid. Inside week did break down. Personally, I took some and then I did not get the re-entry on this, so that's on me. But we got outside shooter here, and you'll notice it's at the bottom of that daily try. So can we get the expando of this stuff? You'll see it looks something like this, right? So see how we're down in here. We want to see that 3-2 just puke because we're looking to go still. Take these guys out, 38.56. And looking at like the 22nd of November, the 40 puts still pretty cheap. Even the 40.5s, which are like at the money, there's 50 cents, right? So they're not pricing that in. It'd be another, you can see about $2 drop, give or take. So those could go, 3x returns on just next week's 40.5 puts. That being said, we already talked the continuation, Roku, XEL, PayPal. We should have Carvana in there as well, which, not the strongest, but we'll see. It's just not going to be on the focus list here because it didn't really get going to start off Monday. And then observations, Affirm. 2-2 bang, right? And then, why does it go so far? Well, look at your triangle expando, right? So the poke up, the poke down, the poke up, higher lows, poke up again. It's like this triangle is very well defined at this point, and then 2-2, and they get above that. And then even if you miss the morning, I wasn't streaming today, but we can go after it above this stuff, right? 51.57. So pretty neat. You can see they really got after it today, but we'll see if they come back tomorrow to buy more. That's also going to be moving with Square. So you're going to see the same thing, simultaneous 1-2-2 bang, right? And looks like this. So we'll see, do they come back tomorrow to buy more? And this comes out right after the earnings gap down buy, which would have been nice to know about, but there's so many earnings. They're so hard to track. PayPal, we did know about, right? So it's moving with all of those. And if we go to Chewy, you're also going to see in here, they really go after it Monday. We'll see if they come back tomorrow. And then ALB, you see really go after it in here. We'll see if they come back tomorrow. And if we go to the higher time frames, you got the quarterly ALB. It used to be somebody. If you go to Chewy, you got this momentum hammer quarter. Clear this out. You can see the inside. I believe that's 312. Forgive me. Let me see. Yeah, so we got the 3-on-2 quarter. Used to be somebody as well. So you got this pretty well-defined triangle you're coming back through here. Above 33.18, right? 52.82. So we'll see. And then all the PayPal stuff used to be somebody. We already know that. Affirm. It's been a lot higher. There's your 3-2 quarter with all the other Bitcoin stuff going to Square, right? Still got some magnitude. Used to be somebody as well. So we'll see. They have been higher. Things continuing just from the gappers. You can add in here Zillow Group, still kicking pattern, still good. And you see Momentum Hammer, they follow through this week. From actionable signals, we talked about Disney for the stat trading guys. This inside day down in here, right before the election, bang, bang, right? And then stop them out, hammer, and then bang again. Go to the month, inside month and up. You're going to see the quarter, now a 122 RevStrat quarter above 99.93, which brings you to 123.75, hopefully before 2025 if they're going to do it. If we go to the Bitcoiners like Hood, right, you still got this hammer quarter going, used to be somebody, a little bit of a shooter today. If we go to Coin, still going, right? We already talked about that. Just want to make sure everyone's on the same page here. MicroStrategy, right? We know that. Riot, right? Mara, yep, right, all that, CLSK, yep, all that fun stuff. So we're going to keep the Bitcoiners on high watch, and if we go to Bitcoin, we talked about this in the macro vid, hopefully you got a hold of it, even if you didn't get the yearly break, that was 60% lower, you could taken it right here, 70, 858 for the quarterly, and still good, right? You can see we're almost 90K now. So there's another 27%. There's your triangle expando, right? And people are scared to chase. They think this is, it's gone too far. We can't buy it. But until this quarter signal exhausts and gets reversed, it's still going higher, right? The same way back in here in October of 2020, right? It really gets going and then it keeps expanding, right? And then the change in continuity, this is where you take your profit, right? So gets going, and then if it doesn't reverse, it'll keep going until we get a change in continuity, which will occur in 2025. So you got still, the rest of this month and next month to go after that until Christmas is over. But yeah, it's gonna be a very major focus for us. And then when it comes to all the indexes, we're still, have this monthly continuity we're working with. So we got a lot of long green bars. We're definitely going to continue to hit them. We're going to be active, we got stuff going on. So that being said, hopefully you guys enjoy the nightly vid. I'll see you guys bright and early in the morning for those in stat. And if you're not, I'll see you guys in tomorrow night's nightly vid.